Then after I finished my A-levels, I was actually at IBA for one semester. And I had just learned to drive. And I was driving down University Road. I was not a good driver, and I'm still not a very good driver. And I was looking down. I went straight into a minibus and hit myself on the steering wheel. And that's when people of Karachi actually took me out of the car and took me to civil hospital. So there's a lot of good always in the people of Karachi. After that, thank you. Then my parents were people who believed in their sons or daughters getting equal chances. So I went to the UK to study, and I did my bachelor's, and I did my MBA in London. So I was there for 5 years. Very free life. As someone was saying, we miss the free life in Karachi. When I came back, for a little while, it was very choking, and I felt very constricted. I wanted to work in government. I had ideals. I went to see a government office, and then I just ran away. And I said, I don't want to work here. And I started at a foreign bank. I'm still a feminist, but at that time, of course, why not, right? But I was more vocal then, perhaps. When you're younger, you are. So when I joined this very well-known foreign bank, after 2 weeks, I discovered that the group of management trainees that I was a part of, women were paid half what men were paid. In those days, I was paid 4,000 rupees, and they were paid 8,000. So I went to meet the country head at the time, and I said, well, why is this? And he said, well, you know, it's for historical reasons, traditional reasons. You're probably going to get married and leave, and all of that. I was quite arrogant, so I just decided, okay, this is too much. And the next day, I just sent in my resignation in a very arrogant way with the driver. I didn't regret it. But anyway, life moved on. So my parents said, okay, here's another foreign bank, you go there. I went there, and to be honest, they would never admit it now, I guess. They said, no, sorry, no women. Actually said that to me. And then, but they helped. They said, okay, why don't you go across the road to another bank? And that's when my banking career started. I was with American Express for 2 years. During that time, I encountered an ugly part of Karachi. One afternoon, Friday, in those days, Friday was the the weekly holiday. We were driving from Sindhi Muslim towards Metropole, and there's a mosque there, if you've seen. And there was a small riot going on one side of the road. And the police was dispersing them, so they came running across towards our car. I was sitting next to the driver, and they started throwing rocks at us, and I was shot. So these things happen. I was shot right here, and exit wound there. God was very kind. Nothing was damaged except my vocal cords, which changed my voice, which is why my voice is still a little bit hoarse. But those things happened. But what did that teach me? I think I didn't really realize what had happened. And then despite all that, we went on, and it did not make me scared. So that's what Karachi is, and Karachi does these things. But I still love it, despite all that. After that, I moved to what was then Greenlace Bank. And one fine day, 6 months into the job, they called me in. They said, would you like to go to Lahore? I was not married. We had family in Lahore. But the first thing I said was, yes, I'll go. When I went home, my family said, but you didn't even ask us. And I said, well, I didn't think about it. I just said yes. So that was done. So I moved to Lahore for 4 years. It's a great city, but it's not Karachi. It's great. It's very nice. And now it's also very beautiful, and I loved it. I loved my time there. I lived alone. for a while, and then my mother joined me after that, but it was great fun. Then I moved. They were very good to me. People took chances on me. And then I moved to Australia for 2 years, working at the head office of the bank. And there, at the end of the 2-year period, they asked me, would you like to stay here? We can sponsor you, and you can become an Australian citizen. But I said no. It never felt like home, frankly. So then I came back. And back to Grindlays, where I did corporate banking. Then it turned into Standard Chartered, and I was the senior credit officer for the combined bank. And then one day, I had an offer from HBL, and then I sort of basically crossed the road to HBL, and that's really, to be honest, that's where I really learnt my banking. I was there for 16 years. I did half of that doing corporate and investment banking, and the rest of that, which is the really fun part, which was in charge of the domestic branch banking. And that, I think Karachi had taught me how to relate with everyone. So I could go to Mardan and be comfortable. I could go to Peshawar. I could go to Quetta. I could go to Sakhar, Larkana, anywhere. And that is really when I learnt about this country. Really did, and it's an amazing place. Wherever you go, in Pakistan or in Karachi, you see so much vibrancy. We talk about being hopeless and all. When you go to the individuals, to the cities, they all have hope. They're not hopeless people. And I think we kind of impute more hopelessness into them than there really is. So after 16 years there, one day, the phone rang, and it rang from the sponsors, directors of UBL, and we began to talk, and they said, would you like to come in and be CEO? And that was a great opportunity and very exciting, and I came in, and that's where I am now. So it's been, I would say, like I think Sanam said, it's not been difficult. It's been challenging. I've worked hard, but it's been a lot of fun. And I think if I wasn't in Karachi, maybe it would not have happened. I don't think. So I believe in Karachi. I wouldn't live anywhere else. I love the city. And I think if you allow the city to run you down, make you unhappy, then it will happen. But if you understand how diverse it is, I think it's one of the strengths. The diversity, there are pools of intolerance, but generally tolerant. And generally, I've felt that if you give people respect, you'll get it in return. So, I mean, that's my message. Just respect people, whoever they are, if you agree with them, if you don't agree with them. And I think if we do that a little bit more in Karachi, things will get a lot better. So thank you for listening to me. That's what I have to say. Thank you. Thank you.